Hey guys, my name is Tommy Ashman, and today I'm going to show you how to use the hip helper. So the hip helper is a tool for myofascial release, specifically for the psoas. It's also useful for a bunch of other joints and muscles. Let's start with the psoas. I'm going to lay the hip helper down on the ground, and I'm going to position it so that it sits in between my abdominal oblique muscles, a little bit below my belly button, about 2 to 3 inches. And then I'm just going to go ahead and lay down on it. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and let it press down onto my psoas. Now while this is happening, I can feel it going straight through my back, releasing all the tension that's been built up from sitting today. I can hold this for about 30 seconds to a minute before slowly getting up and switching sides. My right side is actually a lot tighter than my left. I was on a 4-hour flight yesterday with a 3-hour delay, so a lot of sitting has happened in the last 48 hours. And this is breaking through all of that. Okay, same thing, I'm gonna get up slowly. And already I can feel like my core and back are so much looser. Now to take it to the next level, I can go directly into my piriformis muscle, which runs at the intersection of my glute and leg muscles. I'll turn the hip helper a little bit sideways, and I'll let my leg hang sideways like this. And I'm actually kind of almost sitting on the handle, but really putting most of my weight onto the point of the hip helper, and that press into my piriformis. To intensify it, I can bring my knee in and try and press my knee down to open up my hip a little bit more. From there, I can work my way up to the side of my glute muscles to work into my hip. And same thing, I just want to have my bottom leg pointed out sideways, and my top leg up straight, planting my hands down for support, and letting my weight relax onto the hip helper. And just to work around the joint and straighten and bend my knee, work my body around. And then I can work up higher onto the glute medialis and really alleviate that lower back tension. So much lower back tension is actually rooted in the glute medialis, and you just feel it in your back where all your bones and nerves are. And then I'm just going to switch over to my other side and repeat the same process. Now as I do this, I'm working my leg in to let it intensify as my muscles relax. Working into my hip through the side of my glute again. Open and close my leg. Change the angle up. Moving my shoulders and adjusting my weight just to hit every angle of it. And then moving up to the glute medialis on my left side. That's great. So now I'm going to work up to my neck. The way I do that is I'm going to lay flat on my back and position the hip helper right at the base of my skull and neck. And I'm just going to let it press in. And all I'm trying to do is relax my head back. What I can do to make that a little bit easier is I can move it in and start to look backwards so that most of the weight of my head is resting on the handle, and it's just lightly pressing on that, on the joint between my skull and neck, just alleviating tension in that muscle. Should not feel like a lot of pressure on the vertebrae. If it hurts, stop it immediately. Your neck is very fragile and you don't want to risk injury. But if you do have excess, muscle tension in your neck, this could be a great way to alleviate it. And to add some variation, you can turn it slightly sideways and go right on the tendons. You can turn your head a little bit to the left and right just to work through those knots. From there, we can go into our shoulders. I'm going to go right in between my pectoralis and front delt, just below my collarbone is the point I'm looking for. I'm going to lay down, completely internally rotating my shoulders so that my elbow points out and my palm is facing up. And I'm going to relax onto it there. And immediately I'm going to feel my shoulder being pushed up and back, taking out all that tension in my chest and shoulder that happens from the natural rounding we have in our day-to-day lives. And to intensify this, I can turn my head to the left. Then I can raise my left knee up like this, which is going to start to bring my left hip up and add more torque down onto my right shoulder. Then I can plant my left hand and begin pressing down just a little bit, raising my left shoulder off the ground and pushing my right shoulder back. And I'm really just trying to relax my right arm, let it go limp. It's okay if it bends a little bit, whatever feels most natural. And just working into that point. And when I want to release it, I bring my knee down, bring my hand back, bring it right around to the other side. And repeat. Same thing, I'll bring my right knee up and start pressing with my right hand to bring my right shoulder up and letting the hip helper press into my left shoulder. Okay, so after I hit my shoulders, I can go underneath and get my serratus anterior muscles by going right below my armpit into my lap, pointing, stretching out my arm in front of my head and moving my weight onto it as close to my ribcage as possible. Same thing, bringing the knee up and pressing with the hand to intensify it. And this is going to take care of a lot of the tension we store in our lats and back that pulls our shoulders forwards and down. Same thing on the other side. Now the hip helper really is almost in my armpit here. It's not that far down my lat, and it's really important to get as close into the armpit as possible because that is one of the most sensitive spots on the body, and thus one of the spots on the body that holds the most tension. And by releasing that tension, you'll free up your shoulders to open up way more freely and feel really smooth in the process of doing that.